Hey guys, so white crystal, who should I pull for? Yes, the same disclaimer as before. Do not just pull for white, even if you are going to main white as your crystal for the crystal mission and to get the passives. Do prioritize getting other crystal color as well because some unit is really good. Without utility, you will not be able to beat most of the content, so keep that in mind. And I will include some decision in terms of pulling just to pull for some LDCAs, which is LD calls. And technically this is not my pull plan because I pull for everything. It is just a recommendation, so it does assume that if you're a new player, and the aims of this pool plan is for you to fill up your roster as soon as possible with multiple roles and utilities. Now, for the current banner, I believe this is just another 1 or 2 day, but if you are going white, you absolutely must get Braska, even all the way to his BT, because he does act as a DPS for you with his BT, and he has fast charging, and fast charging is really important. Again, to repeat from the other videos, fast charging allowed you to outcharge the enemy if you add in some launch and entering summon like Chocobo or Sylph. So if you can outcharge the enemy and activate your FR and defeat them within one FR, you don't have to bother about their force weakness. So this makes, to a point that you don't have to pull that much, right? So it's a good investment, and I would absolutely jam this banner if I'm going white. Ace probably will not be one of the main things that you will be using, so just getting his FR is sufficient. Also with his FR and whatever that he has with his kit, his traps, right? You use Ace for his trap, so his trap doesn't need his BT. You can use his trap without his BT. So yeah, so do just get it, but if you do not want to max Ace because you want to save on enhancement point, that's okay, because white crystal doesn't feature a lot of often units, so it is more for our BT phase setup. And here we have the next banner, Aranya and Sephiroth. Again, jam this banner because this banner is really good. I would just focus on Aranya. The thing is, because they brought up some events and they bring up this banner, and this banner is from the future, so yeah, the DPS that Aranya does is really, really high. So having additional DPS unit is definitely good for your roster. Plus, Aranya has delay utility, so grab her. Yeah, focus the gem onto Aranya's banner, and if you get Sephiroth's FR, that is also good because Sephiroth has quite a generic FR, but you do need Ridia's Call. So if you do not have Ridia's Call, then Sephiroth won't be a very good unit for you to use at this point. Cater Call is also very good, so do pick that up as her call freezes the enemy's brave. So for the next banner, Quistis and Reigns, you must pull for Reigns Call, okay? Reigns Call is really good to set up most BT phase. It increases the overall damage of a BT phase. So this banner, just stick it and get Reigns Call. Once you get it, you can skip on this banner. If you're having issue with 6 Warrior Area 7, then do get Quistis FR, because technically without Quistis FR you will do fine as long as you have Reigns LD Call and you are using main character like Braska and Ace for the magic launch, and then you have Aranya for the delay. So that is enough for 6 Warrior Area 7. For Astos, there is no reason to skip this banner, especially for a new player. Astos damage is insanely high, so grab Astos, jam for it. Okay. Also around this point, or actually in between Quistis and Reigns, we just get intel that Rubicante's banner will be coming with Jack Garland. So if it's Rubicante, I would also say jam Rubicante. Rubicante is a really, really good unit. He can solo so many units. So even if you are not using him for your crystal missions, but he can clear a lot of other previous Shinryu, so that will allow you to get more resource. And for future coming Shinryu, yes, Rubicante can still defeat those, right? So you definitely should get Rubicante. Okay, so jam that banner as well. And here the next one, Cloud and Celeste. I assume that they are coming around this time, so I would say skip. You already have a delayer utility from Aranya, so you don't need clout. Rosa and Kurasame do ticket for Rosa because Rosa supercharging, fast charging is still very important. The more the merrier. Fast charger is good. Like, I mean, having multiple main role like DPS role, fast charging role is very important for Dare to Defy, as you have so many stages and you cannot repeatedly use the same unit. So at least ticket for Rosa's FR. If you get the BT, that will be a plus. Okay, so next here is Oren. Yeah, I would say try the ticket for Oren. Even without his BT, he serves as a tank because at this point you do not have a tank, and Oren is a very good counter tank. So do ticket for him. Dorgan and Bartz, you just have to ticket for Dorgan's FR because if you're not maining green, then just get his FR because he can combo quite well later with Noelle, and he also worked very well with Aranya re-breaking. So yeah, just his FR is good. Okay, Bartz, generic FR, if you get him, then it's a consolation. If you do not, it's okay because you already have Braska, which also have quite a generic FR, especially with his BT. Then we have Setzer. Setzer bypass certain boss mechanic, like if boss have very high max wave down that you are dealing 0 damage, or you have very high HP damage reduction that you are dealing 0 damage, then Setzer bypass that, but by only 70% chance. So it's not good as Queena's because Queena is 100% chance. But anyway, since you do not have access to Queena, you should get Setzer, okay? Because it does bring that prospect to bypass certain force time that you do not need their force weakness. Same. And Setzer FR is generic with 50% HP damage limit up. So Setzer is a very good unit, and yes, please jam for him. Jill, yeah, Jill, White Crystal, and she will be your main DPS, okay? Because previously we have Braska, now Jill is coming. Jill's DPS is really, really good for a White Crystal user. She has fast charging as well, so you can easily charge Jill and jump right into her BT phase. Okay, so you don't need to rely on the support unit for the charging. And obviously, if you're going to use her FR will be generic for her. I think for most of the characters as well. So Jill is a very good unit for White Crystal. Definitely do pick her up. She can also cleanse, if I'm not mistaken, or yeah, I think she can cleanse. So Pain FR, if you get it, is generic, but I don't think at this point you'll be using her much. So aim for Jill. Once you get her kit, then you can move on to another banner. And here we have Lena and Noctis. Lena, White Crystal, grab her. She is crazy. Her damage is crazy. Obviously not as crazy as Astos, and she gives a lot. She's a very good aura bot. She's a very good support unit with over healing. If you with a BT you are like having 50,000-60,000 HP, hardly you will actually die to anything, and she provides regen, batteries, yeah, all those good stuff that keeps your HP high and your brave high as well. So I would say she is an absolute must if you are going for White Crystal. So jam this banner, okay? Jam this banner. Noctis again, like consolation. So now at this point you should have Jill, Braska, Lena, and they're all White Crystal, and your White Crystal will be hitting very, very hard. You don't even have to enter anyone's BT phase, just go along with it, like use your LD spam. Yeah, you can easily beat content at this point. Lena's what I want to say, right, her FR is really generic, one of the most generic FR in the game. So yeah, you can just main Lena, use her FR. Like if you bring Jill or Braska, you can use Braska to supercharge first, get Braska EX to EX plus, then you use Jill to continue with the supercharging, and then you use Lena's FR, and yeah, go right into BT phase and just spam LDs and stuff like that. It will be crazy. Oh, and go Bass? Nah, skip. Okay, Queen and Tifa. Yeah, Queen is the white unit, so it would be good for your roster, but Queen is mainly focused on allowing characters with HP plus or or those that really have a very strong EX to hit even harder, or characters that has like once they use their BT, their EX is always charged, like Squall, Lightning, Ram. So Queen will be useful, but at this point, I don't think you have a lot of characters like that. Later on, there is Fusoya, so do keep that in mind if you like Fusoya, and he is also a white crystal. He have a very strong EX, and he will be able to spam EX. So with Queen, then Fusoya becomes stronger. So if you are going for that, then yes, get Queen's kit, else just take it and get her FR and hope that you get her BT, because I do that sometimes. Like I do want the character's BT, but I'm not willing to like go all out for the character, so I will just use ticket and see if I get the FR. Once I get the FR, I stop, but maybe when I was chasing the FR, a BT drops, right? So when a BT drops, I can max it out, I can use the full potential of the character. So I would say at least try for that. Same for Weiss and Ram. This banner you can just stick it just to get Weiss kit. You don't need all the way to his BT, but do get his FR, and his EX follow-up is actually one of the best. Technically we don't even have that many to begin with, so he is definitely one of a good character to have. Ticket this banner. So the next banner here is Reno and Vincent. I kind of forgot that Vincent is a white crystal, so I kind of just like skip Reno and Vincent. Well, the reason why I skip Reno, because Reno make off turn even better, and again white crystal doesn't feature a lot of off turn unit, so I would say skip Reno. But Vincent, right, actually Vincent, get his FR, get his kit at least. You don't need his BT all the way, because what he will do for your roster is that he provide the debuff utility. Okay, so white crystal is mainly support, so you don't have much character that have massive debuff, so Vincent does that. Okay, so at least get his FR, get his kit. And we have Anna Crow and Noelle. So Anna Crow, to me, she is one of the best, or basically the best white crystal unit, and personally, even if I'm not going for white, I will jam this banner, I will get Anna Crow. Okay, before that, we know Anna Crow more as a nuke DPS unit, but at this point, with her BT, she rounds up a character's HP damage limit. So if like you have 210% HP damage limit, with her BT, you go all the way up to 300%. Yes, you do need to calculate, like try to push the limit so that you are slightly above like 205 or 305%, and then Anna will boost it all the way to 400%. Her FR is also generic with her BT, because now she enchant Holy and Darkness, and her FR has 50% HP damage limit up. So again, that makes it easier for you to boost past a certain 100 of HP damage limit, and then she round it up. So your character will be hitting so hard. Okay, so I would say absolutely jam for Anna Crow. And at the same time, when you're doing that, you can get Noelle's FR, and Noelle's FR with Dogger's FR, they combo so well, and both of them doesn't need their BT to combo so well. So you must absolutely get Noelle's FR as well. Now, Cater and Edgar, you need Edgar LD to beat Shiva Spiriters. There's no way you can do Shiva Spiriters without Edgar LD. So at least stick it until you get Edgar LD. Getting his FR will be better, because his FR is actually very generic, and it is a melee magic range FR, so he can cancel a lot of force weakness. So at least try to get that. You don't have to jam this banner if you don't want to. Kelger and Machina, I would say jam Kelger. Kelger is a very good unit. Alright, the thing is that if you have jam Rubicante, right, if you have jam Rubicante in this few days time, because his banner will be coming, then you don't have to jam for Kelger. But if you did not jam for Rubicante, at least get Kelger, because that will fulfill one of your off turn requirements. Like if there's a fight that enemy is going to warp turn, be very fast at it, and it won't be ideal for a BT face unit, then you can get Kelger, right? Kelger evades everything except if the fight has guaranteed hit, which means I would actually say if you get Rubicante, I do think that Rubicante is better than Kelger, given that if you have limited resources to pull for everything. So if you get Rubicante, you don't need to get Kelger. If you did not get Rubicante, then pull Kelger. Alright, next, Deuce and Vivi, White Crystal. Fusoya and Kiran, Fusoya, White Crystal. Deuce is something like Braska. She has fast charging. Her BT does follow-up attack like Braska and Lena. So if you have Braska and Lena, kind of like you have that fulfilled. But Deuce provide even more HP damage throughout the party. So if you still have a lot of resource at this point, do gem for her. Else just get her FR, similarly like what I mentioned with Rosa, get her FR for another fast charging unit. So you don't need all the way to her BT. Okay, Vivi is Constellation, you probably won't use him. Then Fusoya and Kiran, right? Fusoya provides paralysis, so I would say gem this banner because Fusoya does hit very hard as well with constant EX spamming, and at the same time he paralyzed the enemy, so with his LD and S2 if I'm not mistaken. So pull for Fusoya, gem for him. It covers an additional role which is paralysis, which is very important for a lot of fight as well. Kiran is good, but it's more for a black crystal user, so yeah, we can skip Kiran. Then we have Struggle and Lock. Skip this banner, we are going to approach FA50. None of this coincide with your crystal, so skip. Okay, Celsius and Twin. So now we have Twin. Twin is White Crystal and it's the first to get FA50. The thing is, Jill will be getting FA50 as well. I'm not sure it's like on the day itself or the next banner, like, because it's a triple BT banner, and I don't think that they will change this because all of them is getting FA50. So we have Rosa, we have Aerith, and we have Jill. Okay, so with Jill upgraded, she is still a very good unit for White Crystal. So do you exactly need Twin for it? I would say at this point they did not upgrade Twin's damage, so Twin's damage is actually quite mediocre at this point, but they do have a generic FR as long as as long as the character itself is not like specific elemental, right? Non-elemental unit will be able to easily fulfill Twin's FR condition, and 70% with 50% HP damage limit up, so that's pretty good. So if you want gem for Twin, else with Jill it will be sufficient, then you can skip this banner. I do get Twin's FR at least, so at least stick for it because instant turn FR is very good. So I hope this video helped White Crystal user, and thank you for watching.